Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakodash. Double honors be unto the apostles and others at Great Moonstone who rule well and taught us this 100% truth. Much peace and blessings be unto you, hopeful elect out there, pushing out this word with all truth and sincerity. To all you Akim say Shalom. I'm the accurate iron from the servants here. Yahweh Yahushai can't come in with a quick video, going into the book of Malachi, the first chapter, and this is based off of a definition one of the Akim pulled down in the chat yesterday, because one of us made the notion that, basically made the statement that California is the most tyrannical state in the country, which is true. And one of the Akim brought out the definition of the word gentrification, which that word gentrification basically means a process whereby the character of a poor urban area is changed by wealthier people moving in, improving housing, and attracting new businesses, typically displacing current inhabitants in the process, basically being a renovation, if you will. All right, so Esau thinks like that basically has a mentality that he could go on forever. All right, by way of progressing in this state, in the sense that he's renovating everything. All right, upgrading everything. These new buildings, these new communities he's been building. All right, and I remember when I was a little kid, the same new communities that are practically finished. I remember when they were adding the foundations to it. The blueprints were fresh off the rack. They were building the foundations. With the wooden beams and whatnot. And then over time they started developing those communities, and now they're almost finished. All right, that's why you see a lot of Edomites come over here, man. You see a lot of folk, or an Akim, or just folk in general. They be moving out of California. Whether they actually move from different city to get a better better stance, if you will, to get back on their feet. But if it's that bad, they're actually moving state. And what some of the Akim make the notion is that, in different states it's cheaper living. Or I suggest Texas. An example would be in Ohio over there, where a condominium would be about $1,500, roughly estimating right there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but just what from one of the Akim told me a while back. Whereas over here in California, hey, for a small one-room condominium and whatnot, it's about $2,600. All right, it's all this gentrification that Esau be doing. Typically displacing current inhabitants in the process, which that's also a righteous decree right there, man. What he be doing? Basically robbing the poor. But I want to get a precept on the book of Malachi, the first chapter, verse 4, and it reads, "Whereas Edom saith," all right, Edom, basically being the name of the forefather of the Edomites, which are the modern day so-called white men. But it reads, "Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished," which that word impoverished, in the etymology, basically means poor. Means bear with me, Akim. Basically means to make poor, to take away. Basically, rich and poverty come of the Lord. So the Lord basically took away and made them poor. So reading on says, "We are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places." All right, and that was fulfilling a prophecy back in the ancient Roman Empire when they fell away. All right, the fall of Rome happened, and then what then? All right, things kind of died out. There was a Byzantine Empire where Jake ruled, being known as the so-called, Moors, if you will. And then after that happened, all right, they came back in the Renaissance. Now America, basically being the revival Roman Empire, if you will, basically being its extension, because it falls in the same footsteps as the ancient Roman Empire by way of the Senate, the medical system, and things of that sort. So that's why it says we will return and build the desolate places. All right, they return and build everything, from out the ground again, from out the backs of Jake, man. Starting out with Southern Kingdom, all right, in this place known as America, which the scriptures call Babylon the Great. So, but we will return and build the desolate places, thus saith the Lord of hosts. They shall build, but I will throw down. Hey, so Esau constantly building these new modern day, basically, constantly building these, skyscrapers, implementing these new rich communities and whatnot to that sort. Hey, but it's all for naught, man. All right, if I can get a precept down in the book of Ecclesiastes, the first chapter. Starting out verse 1, it reads, "The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem." Now this time out, Yahushua when he was known at when he was back on the scene as King Solomon. Vanity of vanities, which that word vanity basically means uselessness, pointlessness, purposelessness. All right, nothing, basically nothing. All right, something worthless. Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. What profit hath a man of all his labor which he taketh under the sun? All right, and that profit is nothing, because it says one generation passeth away and another generation cometh. But I just want to bring this out to apply to Esau Edom, because it's all for naught. All right, Esau trying to progress on further, it's all for naught, man. All right, the Lord's about to strip away everything from you. That's why you see all these judgments come to pass. All right, these hardcore judgments which basically torture your country. That's why you see all this this economic decline in the past, man. All right, you're seeing all this inflation, and now they're talking about another recession happening in the midst right now. So hey, you're seeing that the economy collapsing, man. So Slovakia, if I can get a precept out. Yeah, Isaiah the 19th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. Slovakia, 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. Hey, that's why you see all these plagues, torturing this place, the forefront of this place, and it doesn't benefit this place, man. All right, it's only hurting it, because your time is up, Esau. You're living, you basically you're borrowed time. You were living on borrowed time, and that's up now. So this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 5. It reads, "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, and destruction." To sum up the whole point. So you're seeing this hit primarily America, man. Hey, so all these new communities, all this gentrification, it's all for naught, Esau. So going back to Malachi, the first of verse 4, it reads, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call on the board of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever." All right, there was an indignation upon you Edomites, all right, which indignation basically means a righteous hatred. So, and the Lord's going to cast his indignation upon you by way of ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles. And to prove that, this is the book of Jeremiah, and if I can get it out, weapons of his indignation, basically. And one thing to point out is that, anger, all right, because indignation also means anger, righteous hatred, righteous anger. And one thing to point out is that anger is associated with fire all the time. All right, so it's no coincidence as to why, this is basically referring to an ICBM. It reads, Jeremiah the 50th chapter verse 25. "The Lord hath opened his armory," basically being another term for arsenal of weapons, "and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord Yahweh of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans." All right, the land of the Chaldeans, basically being Babylon, so referring to this place, man, this last captivity that we're in. So he's about to bring forth the weapons of his indignation, being these intercontinental ballistic missiles. Why? Because it's prophesied that this place will be destroyed from off the face, of the planet Earth. And right now you see Esau trying to continue on with this gentrification, basically trying to continue on with commerce, if you will, basically being this trade. All right, all this buying and whatnot, but don't you see the grinding has ceased? All right, that's why you saw your businesses shut down last year and stuff, and it's gonna get worse again. All right, very very soon, Jacob's trouble. All right, when things actually heat up, as you're starting to see right now, but it's all slow. It's a slow process to it. But once we reach that climatic point, you're gonna see everything pop off and bye to all your services and whatnot. So then the grinding will be truly ceased by that point, which we hope it'll be by within this year, man. It's already June 2022, the year of turn up. But if I could get a precept out, in the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter, verse 3 reads, "A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as a garden of Eden before them." All right, so that's why you see all these new communities, all this beauty, this glam that Esau be trying to do with this fertilizers, making these nice gardens and this nice art and this so-called nice architecture with these decorations about. That's what it means when it says the land is a garden of Eden, because it's proving the point that the land looks beautiful right now, but very soon it's gonna be nothing but a damn wasteland. Alright, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. Why? Because these intercontinental ballistic missiles will cause a big bang that will burn up all the elements round about it, alright, within its radius. So America will become nothing but a wasteland. And wasteland is nothing. Alright, it's a freaking desert. Alright? And so there, by that point, there will be no more trade, right? No more gentrification, none of that stuff, man. All right, everything will be done away with, eradicated. So I'm gonna end it off in the book of Isaiah, the 13th chapter, verse 20, and it reads, just like in verse 19, it reads, "In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency." And that's because although people hate America, all right, they're still calling it its allure. All right, because she's still a beautiful country to them, man. And even the Apostle Rama made that point, and also brought the point that you don't mind taking that Babylon Jews for that very reason. So go on to say the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, which ultimately proves a point, if you can receive it, that America, Babylon the Great, is really Sodom and Egypt, spiritually Sodom and Egypt, because it falls in the same footsteps of being perverse. All right, that's it's Pride Month anyways right now. You see, so all these things, they're all interconnected, if you will. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold. They're basically going into how there shall be no more trade here anymore. No man shall step foot upon this place anymore. But also basically going into how there will be no more trade going on. And America is known for trade deals, But I just want to bring that point out. I just want to let it up right there. Hope this video was edifying. Lord, will we continue to push and show the one.